The deadline to pass the state budget is 3 weeks from Monday, and there is a lot of work to do to reach compromises between the House, the Senate, and the governor. So today, there was a lot of action on non-budget policy issues. Chief Political Reporter Tom Hauser here to tell us about one of those issues that's near and dear to many Minnesotans, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. We like to think of Minnesota as the state of hockey. So naturally, there was a spirited debate today on the Senate floor about the future of the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame in Eveleth. The U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame has been located in Eveleth since the early 1970s, but recently there has been talk about possibly moving the hall to St. Paul as part of a renovation of the Minnesota Wild Hockey Arena complex. That resulted in protests from lawmakers on the Iron Range who want it to stay where it is. Today, one senator tried to amend a state government bill with a provision that would prohibit any state money from being used to move or renovate the Hockey Hall of Fame outside of Eveleth.
Eveleth isn't just a city, it's the birthplace of American hockey greatness. It's where the kids grew up skating before they can walk, where frozen ponds are as common as playgrounds, and where hockey isn't just a pastime, it's a way of life.
I encourage a no vote on this amendment to give the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame Board, Museum, the freedom to do what they choose to do and vote how they want to do it, not legislators in St. Paul telling them what they can or cannot do.
Senator Karen Housley is chairman of the Hockey Hall of Fame Board, and her husband Phil was elected to the Hall of Fame. The amendment ultimately failed, but no decision has been made on the future of the Hall of Fame. Meanwhile, while those policy debates happen in the House and Senate, legislative leaders had budget talks with the governor today, but no agreement yet in sight. Any chance they meet their budget deadline by then?
I don't know, Tom. Can I see the House Health Finance budget? Can I see the House K-12 budget? I can't. There's 3 weeks left. We don't have those bills. And those are the biggest ones. If the House can't agree with itself, how are they going to agree with the Senate?
And you can see more spirited political analysis like that on that issue Sunday morning at 10 right here on 5 Eyewitness News. Paul?
Okay, Tom Hauser, we will be watching. The clock is ticking. Thank you.